First, the USDA's Justice for All non-discriminatory statement, which simply states that all persons must be treated equally without regard to their race, color, national origin, sex, religious creed, disability, age, political beliefs, or reprisal or retaliation for prior civil rights activity, and that our institution provides an inclusive space for all. For more information on the And Justice for All statement, please visit the USDA's website.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining Rutgers Cooperative Extension of Camden County Department of Family and Community Health Science. Today, I want to talk to you about frozen foods. So we're going to go down the frozen food section of a supermarket, virtually, of course. Believe it or not everything in the frozen section of a supermarket is something you have to limit in order to eat healthy. Frozen fruits and vegetables can be a great way to add more fruits and vegetables into your day. With that, the MyPlate recommendation for fruits and vegetables is 2 cups of fruit and 2.5 cups of vegetables per day, and that can come in whichever way you choose, whether it is fresh, frozen, or canned. So both fresh and frozen fruits and vegetables have their positives and negatives. So let's talk about fresh ones first. So fresh fruits and vegetables, you're able to go into the store and physically touch and smell them. So you can actually go and pick out the ones that you choose. Another positive for that is that there's variety there. So the variety is going to change with the season, and you're also going to find that it's going to be more affordable when it comes in season. Now, some of the downsides for fresh fruits and veggies is that they do have a shorter shelf life, and you do have to be careful with how you store them. So certain fruits and vegetables are going to be better in the refrigerator versus some that are going to do better outside. The other downside is that they can be expensive when they're out of season. So it might be harder to find certain fruits and vegetables when it's out of season, and if you do, it's going to cost a little bit more. Now, with frozen fruits and vegetables, they have their own positives. They're frozen at peak freshness, which means that the vitamins and nutrients that are there when it's ripe are still intact. So the freezing process doesn't change that. It's going to have a longer shelf life, so they can last a little bit longer in your freezer, and there's going to be less prep time required. So it's already going to be cut. You don't have to cook it for as long. You're also going to find that these are available all year round as well. You'll be able to find some of your favorites no matter what time of year. And the price stays relatively stable as well. The downside to frozen fruits and vegetables is that they might have some added ingredients. So you want to be careful and look at the ingredients listed. Make sure that there's no added salt or sugar. Also, the recipes that you use these for might change. So the texture changes during the freezing process as well. So you might not want to put frozen vegetables on the side as a salad because of the texture, or frozen fruit is just a snack. So you might take the frozen vegetables and you might cook them into a soup or maybe a chili, and the frozen fruit might be really good as an ingredient for a smoothie. So now that we've talked about frozen fruits and vegetables, let's talk about frozen meals, which is another big part of this conversation. While they might be convenient, many of these meals are high in salt and saturated fats. Diets in high in saturated fats and salt can result in high blood pressure and risk of heart disease. So let's start with salt. The recommendation for daily intake of sodium is 2,300 milligrams. And if we look on the screen, if you have the opportunity to, we actually have 3 different examples. You have frozen pizza, you have some chicken nuggets, and you also have frozen mac and cheese. The sodium on the pizza is about 1,050 milligrams per serving. And that's important to remember. If there are multiple servings and you're eating more than 1 serving, you have to multiply all of these numbers by however many servings you've had. So that pizza is about 1,050 milligrams per serving. The chicken nuggets per serving is 470. And finally, per serving on the mac and cheese, it's 790 milligrams. But if you eat the entire container, it's about 1,200. If you notice with the pizza and the mac and cheese, you'll notice you'll have almost half of your daily intake or daily requirement of sodium. With the chicken nuggets, it's a little under a quarter. So that's something to keep in mind. So now we've talked about salt, let's go and talk about fat and saturated fat specifically. The recommendation for saturated fat is 10% of your daily calories. These numbers might sound difficult to think about, but here's a way to make this a bit easier to remember. If you look on the right side of the nutrition facts, right underneath the number of calories per serving, you'll see percent daily value of each nutrient. A good rule of thumb is 20% or more is considered high in any specific nutrient, 5% is considered low. So if you're looking at all three and you're looking at the saturated fat specifically, you'll notice that the pizza has about 50% of your daily value. The chicken nuggets have about 20%. And then the mac and cheese has 30% for one serving, but 50% in the entire package, right? And even if you look at the total fat in all of these examples, you're seeing that all of them have more than 20% of your daily value in terms of total fat. So these meals might be convenient, might be easy, but they're not always the best because they do have a lot of fat and salt. We want to encourage you to take these recipes, take some of your favorites, and to try and make these at home instead of just buying them at the store. Now, this also doesn't mean that you want to stay away from these. If these are your favorites, we want to encourage you to treat these as a treat. So once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks, not every single night. So what are some takeaways? We want to encourage you to start choosing frozen fruits and vegetables. Yes, fresh is a great way to go, but if you're having a hard time finding your favorite fruits and vegetables fresh, try and find them frozen. They're just as good. Remember to watch out for any added ingredients. Salt and sugar are going to be hidden in there, so just make sure you're careful. And then we want to encourage you to experiment in the kitchen. Try taking one of your favorite frozen meals and try and make it at home yourself. With that, I want to thank you for tuning in. Remember, we have more videos like this, more tips, tricks, and recipes on our Facebook page, so please check that out. Give us a like and follow.